This is sort of Sunday Reflections number 2.
Number 2?
We're going to have to put them out in order now because I've said that.
Yeah.
No, the other day I done a date thing and you were like, ooh.
Yeah.
So this now has to be
this
number 2.
This is number 2.
So I thought that this time it would be quite interesting for Debbie to have a wee chat with me about selling art. She's been selling art lately. Look at her face.
No, that's I actually felt my face go, oh.
She's been selling art lately. So we have been having some really interesting chats around that.
No.
Debbie Mehaffy, life coach. Are you ready for this? This is where I life coach her.
Go for it.
Believe it or not.
Go on, go for it.
No, but let's talk about a little experience you've just had. In a roundabout way, you don't have to say it, you know what I mean? So you have just, obviously everybody knows, I would assume everybody knows that watches us too, that you have just created a space called Debbie Mehaffy Inspirational Art, which
New Year's Day.
Cheerleader.
I know, bless you.
New Year's Day.
Yeah,
and Debbie has been putting up a series of paintings that she's been working on and developing her own style, which is lovely.
Ooh.
Influenced by, what do you call that guy?
Oh God, Louis Joubert. Probably not saying it right, but yeah.
So starting off being sort of like inspired by him, but now talking about different directions that you're going to take that sort of inspiration in, which is fantastic. So anyway, selling pieces of art. So you have went from creating pieces of art. We're going to talk about in a wee minute ways to get started to be creative. Because it's not easy just to sort of pick up and start doing things like that.
No.
So, but you have now went from like just creating pieces of art to actually selling pieces of art. So what has the transition been like in that?
Well, we've talked before about when I first started coming to you, and then that whole process has been about me making time, like we talked about in the last video, for things that you want to do for yourself. So I started to realise the more that I spent doing that, I was very mindful. I was completely in the practice of how's this going to look. And then over the period of time, I was starting to do things for friends, for family. And I suppose you said earlier about all art is about giving birth, and that to me...
That was Hayley Wiley. I'm going to attribute that to Hayley Wiley, because Hayley Wiley, when I used to get sort of real critical of my own stuff, I remember complaining to Hayley. Actually, I tell this story because way back in the day when I started painting again, you're talking 15, 20 years ago, I had this deep of canvases outside my garage, and it was like a bit started here and a bit started there, and I threw them out and started another one a bit there. And Hayley Wiley, who is a Lisburn artist and a very, very dear friend of mine, said to me, "Oh, how could you? You birthed them."
Yeah.
And it's so true. It's like you give birth to your creativity, to your artwork.
Yes.
So they're like your children. So how could you be like that? And that changed the way I looked at that. And I've said that to you before.
Yeah.
And I forgot.
And I'd forgotten it myself. And I suppose the more that I was actually doing things for myself, and then I was putting them up. I suppose taking a risk and putting them on the wall, and then family were coming in. That's nice. And I thought, oh gosh, maybe I can't do a wee bit of this. But it actually something else then started within me, that it was more about, it was the doing of it that I was really enjoying doing.
Process.
Now, there was a few that I didn't enjoy, and they ended up in the bin.
Which is normal, do you know what I mean? You're not going to actually create something, every single piece of art you create, you're not going to love. Yeah, it's the natural law if you think about it. Like.
Yeah. So then I would have maybe lost a wee bit of faith for a while, but then I know. So what you want me to talk about, I know you do, is the whole idea of...
Get it out!
I have started, really around Christmas was the real big thing for me. I decided to create paintings for my children, and even that, it was one of my daughters that said, "Mum, would you do me one?" And I thought, oh gosh, you must like them. And your greatest critics are mostly the people who are the closest to you, family. So when she had asked me, I thought, gosh... So that gave me the bug, and then I thought, well, okay, well if she likes it, maybe I should do them for the rest of the girls. So
you did have wee worries around giving them to even what they were going to think of them, and that was probably a conversation that you just had with me.
Yeah. Thanks, Shirley.
Debbie's daughters.
So yeah, there was always that. And it's exactly what you were saying about Haley and saying this. It was like, oh gosh, they mean something to me, but if I give them over and people don't like them, then what are we going to do?
So then can we come back to our conversation that we had the other day of it is none of your business?
I know, but you see, this is it.
So then I learned that.
Yeah.
I learned once I had created a piece of art and once somebody bought that piece of art off me and took that piece of art away, that was no longer my concern of what people thought about it or what you know, the criticism or whatever, or the good remarks of it. It was none of my business.
Yeah. So before Christmas then I'd created a piece, and we both know the lovely person who bought it off me, and at the time I remember saying, oh my goodness, here was something that I felt very vulnerable. I really felt vulnerable.
She's fine.
And I
Debbie Mehaffy.
You're shocking though. But I think that's...
No, I just know you.
I know, but I do. And that's why I'm actually pleased that we're talking about it, because there's a vulnerable side to us all, and there's a real confident side to me in a lot of the work that I do, but there's also a real vulnerable side to me. So the vulnerable side was actually saying, oh my goodness, here you go. Are you really interested in it? Do you really want to buy it? So I've just had it again where I've sold another piece, and I came to Shirley today to talk about it. So it went, oh gosh, I nearly wanted to say, you sure you want to buy it?
You didn't even wrap it up when the person came to buy it off you, because even though you said her statement was it was the quickest thing she had ever sold in her life.
I know, it's the truth though.
But then
I went to, oh gosh, maybe they haven't seen it right. And then it went to, oh God, I wonder they're really going to like it. So that continued.
And then she didn't wrap it up so that when they came to give her the money to get the painting, that they could inspect it properly, just in case.
So yeah, I suppose it's really just that whole, and what was I saying earlier on? Even the thoughts that you don't realise you're going to think, I was thinking them, because I suppose it all comes, do you know what it comes down to? The thing that, the topic that always comes up in life coaching, and it shows me that I constantly have this my whole life so far. I've had to do it, and I'm sure I will continue to work on it, because it's just that thought of not good enough. And it comes up, and so there's lots of my areas where I know I'm damn well good, and nobody ain't going to challenge that, because being brown, I will not negotiate my worth.
Self-worth is not negotiable.
Absolutely, and I am that woman. But when it comes to the vulnerable side of something new, there is that part of me that has to go with, God, is it really? Am I really good enough to do this art?
But if you think, what I noticed was you put your inspirational art page up. Well, first of all, you started putting photographs up a lot of months ago. We done a video for, remember Atlas, the first one you actually painted.
Yes.
And the feedback was amazing for you. Yeah. And again, back to that wee conversation the other day, you don't even hear it.
No.
You opened an art page, and your wee art page flew and grew really quickly there over the start of the new year. And I'm on it, and I'm reading it, and I'm so proud of you, and all the comments. The same as when other people put paintings on. People have done stuff with me. No, but when I see all the comments underneath it and people going how great it is, I'm all yay. So even that's all happened. You sold the painting that you had wanted to sell at Christmas. You sold like that. You put this painting online yesterday, and within 10 minutes of putting it online, somebody's actually added you very quickly as a friend to buy this said painting off you, and still you're not good enough, Debbie.
I think I do.
Still, it's not good enough. It's not good enough. Still.
I think it's. Do you know what it is? Do you know exactly what it is?
It's an inner critic.
I'll tell you what. Well,
a really bad inner critic.
You and I both, and I again use this in my work. You use it in your work. So it's, we just hit the nail on the head, really. Marianne Williamson, our deepest fear is that we are powerful beyond measure. It is our light, not our darkness, that most scares us. So what's scaring me is that, oh my God, I could be this good. And if
I are that good.
I know, but if I'm not good, that means people want to buy when I'm painting. And make it. I suppose for me, it's like, I know it's not about age and it's not about that, but this is something at my time of life that is new, and it's something that nearly scares me. that it does scare me.
But if you think about all the things in
scary.
life you've faced or learned, it's the things probably that would have been the most challenging and the most scary that have brought you to the greatness. You know?
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. So it's like permission to do something that I love doing. And Wayne Dyer, I always remember reading an article about Wayne Dyer, and he wrote many, many books on self-help, but one of the things that he said was his greatest success, if you like, was the things that he felt he spent less time doing. And when he birthed books, and he talked about, it was, for him, it felt like something, a spiritualness, a universal source that worked through him when he worked through that, because he was in his space. And I think that's what it is. There's something about, in the creativity part of this, is like, I'm in my space.
And you're in your space, and in that space that you're allowing yourself to have, you're allowing yourself to express, but to express deeply, if you think about it. Because all of those images that you're creating, the books you're using, the book you used for mine was The Road Less Travelled, which is another favourite book of mine. And what's the first line of the book?
Life is difficult.
Life is difficult. So how wonderful is it to find time and a space and an activity that is giving you so much joy.
But then again, I have to thank you for that, because you set me on a journey that I hadn't a clue what it was going to be like. And like today, like even doing this wee video, you're right alongside me. You're always encouraging me. God, I could get emotional.
Don't you do that? Let's change the subject. 5 tips for getting started. She's not going to cry. Don't you dare.
Just drop my glasses. I'm all flustered.
So I have 5 tips for you to get started today if you're thinking about being. Well, actually, there's 6. I added a 6th one in. You don't know. Anyway. Establish a routine. It's really important. If you want to try to do something creative, it's really important that you set yourself a wee bit of time aside. It could be taking a bit of time at home, even starting off with like owl colouring books, something, just a bit of colour, doing something. Maybe attend a class. I'm just going to do a real shameless plug here for my Tuesday Nights in Atlas.
Absolutely.
I have beginners painting classes that you can come along and join there. So establish a routine. Do start off by thinking, I need to give myself a wee bit of time, and dedicate it to yourself every week. Forget about everything else. That's your time to do something creative. The next wee one on my list is Fear Not the Blank Page, and I have had that so many times. Do you know, where it's like you sit down, over the years, years ago, I've always painted, I always loved art, but years ago I would have sat and I'd have thought, I want to do something, and I got my gear out and I just sat staring at the canvas or staring at the page, and it's like,
scary.
But what'll it do too? You can't really think of anything too, because I think it's because you're looking at it and again we'll go back to looking at it in a different way. So how about looking at the canvas or looking at the page? This would change it for me, and instead of looking at it as scary, it's pure potential. So in this clear white space of this canvas or page, whatever it is you're using, lies all potential, sort of thing. So it's changing how you look at that, so that sort of would maybe help alleviate the fear of getting started. Leading on to the next one is enjoy yourself, because creativity is supposed to be fun. We're being creative for fun, do you know what I mean? So it's like not taking yourself too seriously as well. And even in that starting in that blank canvas, just starting to doodle or starting to do something will start to emerge. And then not judging yourself and trying to dispel the inner critic is really, really, really important. And if you can do that and thinking that you don't even have to show it to anybody. Do you know what I mean? I don't have to show this to anybody. I'm going to sit today and create a wee painting. Doesn't matter what it looks like. It's a process of creating. Doesn't matter what it end up with. Do you know that way? I don't have to show it to anybody. I might end up doing a painting that I really like, and I think I might want to show it to somebody. But how about if it's just the beginning? Show it to somebody that you know is not going to give you a really bad negative feedback. That's a good point as well. Because you're now at the point where you're past that now. You're putting yourself out there and you're online. You know, so you're at that point now. So it's not about you're not just keeping yours now to show to me or to show your now out there with that. So you're at that point. You're ready for that.
Scary bit.
And the inner critic thing as well, as I said there, play. I'm having fun, I'm playing. I'm not trying to create a masterpiece. It's not going to the Tate Gallery. I'm not doing that. I'm just playing. Explore colours. Colours are lovely. Which one attracts you first? Have a wee go with it. Add some colours in. Create a wee abstract. Do whatever just to get yourself started. Number 5, that was, I've said it anyway, be discerning about your feedback. Do not show your work to anybody unless, you know, at the very beginning, if you create something, as I said, just show it to people that you know are going to give you positive feedback on it rather than slag you off or sort of like ignite that inner critic even more, so you think about it. And I have number 6 down, because number 6 could be, come along to our residential and do some work with me. I didn't know I was going to do that, yeah, number 6. Our residential is on, I'm just going to do shameless plugs all around. She doesn't even know I was going to do this. Our residential is on the 1st of February, Clare Lodge in Newcastle. I will be cracking out some fantastic art exercises. Everything is achievable, everything's possible even. And that's the best way to get started, to be creative. Number 6, come and hang out with us.
Yes, absolutely. And my part will be talking about all the stuff that me and I've been talking about. The vulnerable side of us, the creative side of us, the moving forward side, the taking risks side, all of that will be part of everything that we do in creative. It's actually very similar to what we do here. Creating conversations at bigger tables, using creativity and
very much so. Very much so.
It's exciting again.
So thank you again for tuning in. To us too.
Thank you very much indeed. You never know where you're going to go when we sit down and have a yarn. My God, the days are nearly done. So yes, thanks
Right, okay guys. See you for reflection number 3 sometime in the future.
Okay.
Bye.